morning, everyone. It's great to be here as we're kind of poised, a bit like the 330 there in the picture, on the cusp of what we see as a really exciting time for us here at Airbus, the broader A330 community, with the new generation A330neo. Over the last 10 years, Airbus has been reinventing its family of aircraft, starting with the 350XWB, then the A320neo, A330neo, A380 Plus. The new generation family is really now complete. We have a family that is adapted to today's requirements and is very much ready for the demands of tomorrow. And the twin aisle family, we've targeted for it 25% lower fuel burn versus the previous generation competition. And cutting fuel burn by a quarter is there to cut costs for our customers, the airlines, but it also means 25% lower CO2 emissions, so there's a benefit, environmental benefit as well. And we want to have a twin aisle family that maximises comfort for the airline customer. And remember, that's all of you, so think about it from that point of view. But also offer efficiency and profitability for the airlines. It's a true family. It's a family like the record-selling A320 family that has aircraft in different sizes, from the wee one, and you're going to have to get used to the Scottish because there's two of us that are Scottish today, the A330-800 at just over 250 seats, up to the big one, the 350-1000 at 370 seats. These capacity steps, they allow profitable growth for an airline as they move through the family. And high levels of crew commonality exist between the 330neo and the 350XWB, as the aircraft have a common type rating for pilots, and that takes advantage of Airbus's well-known fly-by-wire system. And it's something, as you know, that is already proven in operation for many years and is a staple for Airbus. And that synergy between the aircraft extends even further. The A350 was conceived with the A330 as a reference. Basic A330 values, efficiency, innovation, comfort, reliability, and Airbus commonality were built in and are being delivered by the A350 now every day. The A330neo, in its turn, was built on top of the foundations of the A350XWB, starting with the prime areas of new wing, sharklets and cabin, and also a whole host of systems from the XWB, including electrically signalled air bleed, external LEDs, which will deliver lower maintenance costs and higher reliability. New functions such as Wi-Fi electronic flight bags are really our way of starting e-operations. This is where we will gather a lot more data from the aircraft than we do now, analyse it, and come up with solutions for our customers that will help reduce maintenance costs, increase aircraft reliability and availability, and improve and ease airline operations. The A350XWB also helped us in the way with the design of the pylon using titanium, having it fully faired. Also helped us to improve the aerodynamics, plus the nacelle, of course, which is all new composite and uses our exclusive Airbus Zero Splice technology in the engine inlet, which reduces engine noise and also improves the airflow to the engine. So all in all, from a technological perspective, the 330neo and the 350XWB move together. Now Chris is going to talk in detail later, but as it's a neo, I kind of feel I should talk about a little bit about the engine. It was built, the engine, in the proven technology of the Trent 1000 TEN and the Trent XWB. It has all the elements of today's ultra fuel efficient engines, the big fan, the high bypass ratio, and to that we are adding thrust options from 68 to 72 kilopound takeoff thrust to better tailor the engine to a particular airline's operation. For the wing, we've taken advantage of all the design technology on the A350XWB. While the most noticeable thing on the wing is the composite sharklet, I think it's fair to say that the whole wing is aerodynamically new. And the surfaces, everything we've done has been laser scanned, a first for the A330neo, and correspond to the computer models, so we have a high level of confidence in the realities of our design. The engines and wing give the economic benefit for the 330, but the most important part for you as a passenger is the entirely new Airspace by Airbus cabin. The A350 XWB cabin feedback was absolutely fantastic. So we kind of thought, why not do it again in the A330neo? With those values of comfort, ambience, services and design at the core, to bring a modern, quiet, comfortable cabin space with the latest connectivity and entertainment as a result. Airspace cabin has new larger bins, new welcoming entrance area, newly refreshed lavatories, and Airspace interiors on the A330neo and the A350 XWB. With them, airlines can offer a seamless passenger experience with wider seats and a quieter environment than competing aircraft. And because Airspace is about creating the perfect space for both passengers and airlines, the cabin is even more efficient thanks to a smart new set of monuments, SpaceFlex and SmartLav, enabling a gain of up to 10 seats, whilst, and we had to make sure of this, maintaining the same level of passenger comfort. So with all this fabulous technology, what do we get? We get a family that's essentially one aircraft in two different sizes with over 99% commonality. And that's about the highest there is in the industry. The smaller one is the lowest risk and longest range 250-seater. What do we mean by that? We mean that because it's low risk, it has the highest chance of success on new routes. And that's something its predecessor, the 330-200, has excelled at, is opening new routes. And that's one of the reasons why the 330-200 is the most popular wide body there is, with a total of 95 operators having chosen it. More operators have chosen it than any other wide body. And the 330-800, it will follow in that success. The bigger one, the 330-900, is the lowest seat mile cost of any 300-seater, which allows us to move on from the 330-300, which has sold more aircraft than any other mid-size wide body, and itself has 65 operators. And the lower unit costs, again, mean lower fares for the passenger. And we are confident of the success of this family. But it doesn't stop there. The 330neo offers even more range. Today's typical A330, around 500 of them, can fly just over 5,700 nautical miles. That's about 10,600 kilometres. What the 330-900 does is add another 800 miles, 1,500 kilometres to that range. And that allows airlines to open up new markets, like Europe to Southeast Asia, US to China. And the A330-800, it'll fly even further. In fact, it'll fly about 600 miles more than a typical 330-200. So we've increased the range, we've increased everything. But ultimately, it's all down to economics, because that's why airlines buy airplanes. It's where we have to deliver our new generation efficiency. The 330neo can have up to 30 more revenue seats than the equivalent 787. And when one looks at total cost, unit cost, the A330neo has an advantage of up to 15%. What does that mean? Well, for the passenger, it means lower fares, which is what everybody wants. For the airlines, when you go on the internet, it starts to mean that because of those lower fares, their fares pop up sooner, pop up higher there on the internet flight search engines. And that gets more bookings into the airline. And also, with more fares, lower fares, they can share that benefit with the passenger and actually increase their margins and profitability. So ultimately what it's about is a win-win situation. These are the reasons that have allowed us to have a very strong launch for the A330neo, which in combination with the A330 have captured over 60% of the market since that launch. The mix there also shows you that we've successfully bridged the gap between the A330 production and the A330neo production. And now our focus, from a commercial point of view, is moving very much into the 330neo. But I want you to remember something. That success has not just been in the recent past. Let's go back to the launch of the 787 on the 4th of the 4th, 2004. We knew we had a really good aircraft in the 330 that could compete with the 787, which, if you remember, was designed to kill off the A330. But looking to the future, we've now passed the baton to the A330neo, which is a much more formidable competitor to the 787, to ensure that we can continue or even better our position in the market. But what we do want to do is keep all that is good on the A330 for the 330neo. So thanks to the continual development of the 330, it's proven itself a very versatile platform. This is a little bit of a complicated chart, but I'm going to run you through it. Each bubble is a 330 operator. The bubble size is directly proportional to the fleet size of that particular operator. The vertical axis is the average seat count for that A330 fleet for a particular airline. And the horizontal is the average distance and time there that fleet flies. Now, the A330 has a wide variety of seat counts, from just above 200 seats up to 440 seats. It also flies at average sector lengths of from round about 1,000 nautical miles up to something approaching 5,000 nautical miles. And there's no real gaps anywhere. So in the question of what does a 330 do, the answer is everything. All kinds of carriers, network carriers, regional, low cost, charter, all business models, A330 does it all. That's why it's been so popular. We want to do the same thing in the A330neo, but this time from day one. So we have the flexibility on the cabin to be able to accommodate everything from a 4-class layout for a big network carrier to a single-class high density for a low-cost carrier. On engines, with choice of thrusts and on takeoff weight to suit best the operations of any airline. And we want to continue that with the reliability that we've proven in the market with the A330 and with significantly higher efficiency than what we have with the current aircraft. And that versatility and spread of operation is already reflected in the order book, with 212 sales to 11 customers, both large and small, network and low cost. And is also to the leasing companies who are essential to the industry today, and they've been focusing on placing A330neos recently at other operators and have been successful recently, with Avalon recently commenting publicly that they have nothing to place before 2020. So, in conclusion, in the A330neo, we have a new generation aircraft built upon the success and technology of the A350XWB. We have the lowest costs, with up to 15% lower DOC than the 787 and up to 30 seats more revenue seats than the 787. And it all comes with versatility and reliability that have underpinned the 330's success, available from day one, whatever the mission, with industry-leading reliability. Thank you.